If your supplement routine looks more like an aisle in your local pharmacy than it does a wellness plan, then I want you to stay tuned because this episode is for you. And look, I've been there. So today we're talking about why more supplements aren't always the answer and they aren't always better and how they can actually backfire. I'm going to break down when supplements help, when they don't, and what to focus on instead so that your body can actually use the supplements that you're taking and the nutrition that you're taking. So stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. Hey friends, welcome back to Gut Fix. So today I want to start with a question that I hear all the time from clients, and that is, why am I taking all these supplements and I still don't feel any better? I want you to know I've been there, number one, but I've also got you. Because you could be taking a morning handful of supplements, an afternoon handful, and you might have a cabinet that you don't even want to go into because when you open it, supplements come flying out at you, right? You're not alone. Like I said, I've been there. And supplement fatigue is real. More importantly, the answer isn't more supplements because that doesn't always equal better results. And so today I want to talk about why supplements sometimes stop working, they stop helping, and how they can actually backfire and what you can do instead. So supplements are meant to do exactly what their name is. They're meant to supplement. They're meant to support your body. But when they're layered without a strategy, then a few things can tend to happen. Number one, your gut can become very overwhelmed in trying to break everything down. Your liver can become overloaded and have to filter through all of these supplements that you're taking. All of that will create absorption dropping. So you're not going to be absorbing what you're taking. And sometimes it can actually make the symptoms worse. And a lot of times what I hear from clients is that they either feel nauseated after they take the supplements. They might feel some bloating when they take certain supplements. And oftentimes there's a combination of either they're having loose stools, they're having some constipation, or maybe it's a balance between the two, not a balance. Maybe it's a dance between the two, between loose stools and constipation. And another one that I hear too is that they are feeling that tired or exhausted, but wired. Tired, but wired. They're so darn exhausted, yet they can't sleep. They can't rest. And that's not because the supplements that they're taking is bad. It's because the foundation in which they're taking these supplements, it isn't there. And so if your digestion is compromised, your body cannot properly break down or absorb what you're trying to take. In a lot of cases, if you haven't corrected the problem, you haven't done some healing, you're just throwing money down the drain and you actually could be making yourself feel worse. And the second big thing is that timing is an absorption. That really plays a big role. And so, if your stomach acid is low, for example, which is very, very common as we get older, because as we get older, we naturally stop producing as much stomach acid. And then you add in, stress, that makes it even worse. And so minerals don't absorb very well. It's extremely difficult to break down proteins properly. And supplements, they'll tend to just pass right through. So again, you're adding in those supplements, you're not even absorbing them, you're just throwing money down the drain. And the proteins and the minerals that you're not absorbing and you're not breaking down, well, you're not getting all the nutrients that you're eating. So you could be eating great, but you're just not absorbing it. So then you add in that you're taking everything at once, and that's not going to be good for absorption, right? Or in some cases, you're taking your supplements on an empty stomach when they should be taken with food. And there's different, each supplement is different. Some are meant to be taken on an empty stomach and some are meant to be taken with food. But knowing that and taking them properly is going to affect the absorption. So, and the other thing is that if you're mixing things that are going to compete with that absorption. So knowing what to take them away from and what to take them with, right? And then, because what all that leads up to is that all of a sudden you're spending a ton of money on supplements and they aren't doing anything. And this is why people oftentimes when they come to me say, I've tried everything. And maybe they have. They probably have in a lot of cases. It's maybe just that they're not in the right order and that they do not have that foundation. So, the other part of it is that you want to be cautious of the supportive versus the corrective supplements. And what I mean by that is that there are certain supplements that are very supportive to your system, and there are corrective supplements that actually will correct things. So, for example, your supportive supplements would be things like your magnesium, your omega-3s. Yeah, if you have trouble digesting, proteins, digestive enzymes, and then those basic nutrients like your vitamin D, your vitamin C, all of your B vitamins, those are all very supportive supplements. They're supporting your system and they are going to help the body to function much better overall. Then on the other side, you have the corrective supplements. Those would be your antimicrobials. Those would be your gut repair protocols, your hormone targeted support, and those immune modulators, because these are all addressing very specific imbalances and they are there to correct those imbalances, right? They're not there to support, they're there to correct. So the mistake that oftentimes that people make is that they're using corrective tools without knowing really what they're correcting, right? And so that's where the testing comes in, because you need to know what you're correcting, right? Because you could be correcting something that doesn't need correcting. And that's when people often spin their wheels and get frustrated and think that nothing's working and that they'll never feel better. And again, that's why testing changes everything. Because when you are guessing and you're just kind of thinking or sometimes getting onto Dr. Google and trying to figure out what I should be taking for this symptom, that can lead to overload. And when you test, that leads to precision. We know exactly what we're targeting. And when you know what's actually going on in your gut, where the imbalances are, whether there's inflammation present, whether it's in your gut or overall systemically, how your nutrients are being absorbed, or are they being absorbed at all? What your body truly needs. Then you can, number one, reduce the supplements that you're taking and get rid of all those unnecessary ones that really aren't needed or aren't doing anything or could be harming. That's going to improve your results overall, and you're going to start to feel better faster. And so it's not about doing more, it's about doing what's right for you. And sometimes that's actually doing less. So what are you to do instead? So if you are someone who is overwhelmed with supplements, and maybe the overwhelm is you really don't know what to take, but you're taking what's trending on TikTok or Instagram, and you're just because they're talking about something that you are feeling, then you want to do a couple of things. You want to, number one, pause and simplify what you're doing, because like I said, more isn't always better. And you want to really focus on supporting your digestion and your overall gut health, and using food as your medicine, and then supplementing when you need it, right? And then focus on the other foundations. So not just the nutrition aspect of it, but you want to focus on your good quality sleep. You want to focus on reducing your stress, or ways that you can, reset your stress and get back into that parasympathetic state. You want to manage your blood sugar levels and make sure you're eating enough. That's a big one if you're not eating enough protein, for example. And then, you really want to be curious. You don't want to get frustrated. So your body isn't failing, right? And I don't ever want you to think that could be something that's going on, that you're failing. It's communicating something to you, and you can do something about it as long as you know that it is communicating, and you take those signals and do something with them. So I want to kind of wrap up by saying, if your supplement routine feels like it's exhausting, or it's not doing anything instead of empowering you, then that is a sign that something needs to be adjusted. And when you are taking supplements that are not personalized, they're not targeted, they're not, based on what's actually going on, and they're layered in inappropriately, then they can be incredibly effective when they are done this way, when they are personalized, when they are targeted, when they are layered in appropriately. They can have, you can see incredible results, feel better faster, and they can be incredibly effective. And when they're not, they become very expensive, and they become very expensive guesses, right? So I hope that this was helpful. If you are somebody who has been experiencing, what we kind of call supplement or pill fatigue, and you're not seeing the results that you want, and you're just not knowing where to turn next, and instead of throwing more supplements at it, getting to the foundation, getting to correcting what's going on in your gut, in your overall health, and just really focusing on that whole person picture, then we can then target those supplements based on hopefully some test results that show exactly what's happening. So, if you are somebody who would like that targeted approach, would like that that look under the hood and running some tests to find out exactly what's going on, then I really, strongly urge you to book a consultation with me, a discovery call. They're free. They're 30 minutes. We'll kind of dive into what's happening, and what is the next best place for you to go, next best test for you, the next best where we need to focus. And so you can do that by going to the show notes below and booking on the link below, or you can go to my website, wendyhandy.com, and book your free discovery call there. And, we don't want this to be just a very expensive guess, and for you to be throwing money away on supplements that just aren't working, or worse, making your symptoms worse, right? So thanks for listening today. Again, I hope you found some value. If you did, I would love for you to like and subscribe to the show, leave a review, and send it to anybody that you might know that could value from this, get value from this episode. And so until next week, stay happy and stay healthy. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.